Ancient story number 3. From a very early age, Nanak's parents found him to be a very thoughtful and spiritual boy. He thought constantly about the divine creator. He'd been brought up as a Hindu and came to believe that the way God was worshipped through rituals and ceremonies, sometimes without a sincere heart, it just wasn't right. He thought the inequalities and how women were treated was all wrong in his society. At the age of 10, he had to go through the sacred ceremony, which is the way Hindu boys are initiated into adulthood. At that time, it was also a symbol of the caste, of the social group that you belonged to. And as the teacher went to put the sacred thread around him, Nanak caught his wrist and demanded to know its purpose, and he also asked if it would last. He was told it would not, the cotton would wear out, and he argued against it. He refused to wear the sacred thread and is said to have spoken these words, speaking of wearing a different kind of thread. I wonder if you can see what he meant when he said this. Woven from the cotton of compassion and the thread of contentment, with the knot of self-control and the strength of truth. O teacher, if you have such a thread for the soul, then put that on. This will not break or be soiled. It will neither burn nor perish. His father realised that it was useless to try and make him take part in the ceremony. He seemed so unhappy that his father actually called a doctor. Nanak said, when the doctor was called, he began by feeling my pulse. The silly man doesn't realise that the pain is in the heart. Eventually his father sent him to his sister Nanaki, who lived in Sultanpur. Not wanting to be a burden, he accepted the job her husband had found him as a storekeeper. He continued to meditate and pray. One morning he failed to return from his daily bathing and meditating in the river. He had been gone for 3 days, and stories tell that he had a mystical experience. He was taken into the presence of God and given a bowl of nectar from which to drink that would give him extraordinary powers and the knowledge that he was to return to his life and preach the name of the True One. When he returned, he declared this, there is no Hindu and no Muslim, so whose path shall I follow? I will follow God's path. God is neither Hindu or Muslim. And then he spoke what has become known as the Mool Mantra. It says this, there is but one supreme protector, the only true one, the creator, all-pervasive, without fear, without anger. Eternal is his manifestation, free from birth and rebirth, realized only by his grace. At the beginning he was, true through the ages. At present he is. This was to become the statement of belief to be recited by Sikhs every morning. Soon after this, Nanak was accused of making rude remarks about Muslims, so he was interviewed by his employer and the mullah of the village, both Muslims. They invited him to pray with them. He did not, and some say he actually laughed while they prayed. When they had completed their prayers, they asked Nanak why he had behaved in that apparently disrespectful way. He replied that they were not praying. He went on to explain that true prayer depended on the right intention. And neither man's mind was on his prayer. The mullah was thinking about his horse, which he had left untethered by a well, so he was worried that it might fall down the well. And the other man was thinking about his servant who he had sent to Kabul to sell horses, and was wondering whether he had obtained a good price. After this, Nanak made 4 great journeys, preaching his message, speaking against the restrictive group system in India, and their empty rituals and prayer performed without sincerity or concentration. On his journey, he was accompanied by a friend of his childhood, a Muslim named Mardana, who was a low-caste singer. His sister Nanaki had given him a stringed instrument so that whenever they went and wherever they went, they were able to sing the sacred compositions of Guru Nanak. Everywhere he went, he composed poetry which became part of the Sikh scriptures. Here's an example. Mere talk cannot lead you to heaven. Righteous conduct can be your salvation. He told many stories to try and get people to think about the intention of their heart. Not just the empty rituals and ceremonies, but actually the focus of their heart. That was his message that he wanted to get out to his people. This is the end of ancient story number 3. I would like you to again either take on the opportunity to retell the story of Guru Nanak and what he did and what his message was and where he went and all that stuff and his battle with the sacred thread. You can do that in your own words, and some of you have done amazing work with your stories in your own words. Beautiful work. So thank you. So you can do that, or think about something different, something a bit deeper. And some of you have taken on that challenge, which I'm really proud of. I want you to think about the difference between actions and thoughts. And I want you to think, what's more important? Your thoughts or your actions? See what you can come up with in response to that idea. And I look forward to receiving your work very soon. The details will be on Go for Schools, and I look forward to hearing from you very soon. Take care. See you soon. Bye.